There's an old front porch swing still creaking in my mind. Summer nights and fireflies running out of time. Mama humming softly while the radio played low, songs about forever from so long ago. Daddy's hands were calloused from working dawn till dusk. He'd smile through the struggle like faith was all we trust. Those songs were more than music, they were lessons carved in stone. Timeless country memories that made a house a home. These timeless country memories still live inside of me. Through the laughter and the heartache, they're all I'll ever need. From the back roads to the moonlight, where my soul still wanders free, I carry timeless country memories. Saturday night dances on a dusty wooden floor, cheap guitars and honest love, we never asked for more. Promises were simple, like your hand holding mine. We thought that love would last forever, just like those melodies in time. The years roll by like highways, fading in the rain. Some dreams got forgotten, some still call my name. But every old familiar song brings it all back to me. Every note a photograph of who we used to be. These timeless country memories still live inside of me. Through the laughter and the heartache, they're all I'll ever need. From the back roads to the moonlight, where my soul still wanders free, I carry timeless country memories. If I lose my way someday and the world feels cold and strange, I'll turn the dial back slowly, let the past ease all the pain. 'Cause those voices from the vinyl still sing honest, still sing true. They remind me where I came from and what love's supposed to do. These timeless country memories ain't bound by years or time. They live in every broken heart and every simple line. When my story's almost over and my days drift like the breeze, bury me in timeless country memories. Yeah, those timeless country memories, they never fade away, they just get stronger with every yesterday. The sky was barely waking when I heard the screen door close. Coffee still on the table, your jacket by the stove. You didn't say a word, just left a note with my name. Said, I'm sorry, this is goodbye. Then the whistle came. Your boots were by the doorway, like you planned to come back home. But the bed felt twice as empty when I woke up alone. I stood there in the silence with your letter in my hand, trying to understand the meaning of a love I couldn't stand. She left with the morning train before the sun could rise, took all the words we never said and all the unanswered whys. I watched her disappear like smoke into the rain. Yeah, my heart broke quietly when she left with the morning train. We said love would last forever, said we'd face it side by side, but somewhere in the waiting she learned how to hide. I thought staying meant commitment, thought leaving meant defeat, but I guess she found her freedom in the sound of those steel wheels. There's a town down by the station where the nights still call her name. Every train that passes through feels a little bit the same. I still turn when I hear footsteps, still look up when trains complain. Funny how the heart remembers every kind of pain. She left with the morning train, no tears, no last embrace, just a quiet kind of ending time couldn't erase. I stayed standing on the platform, watching hope drift down the lane. Yeah, my world slowed to a whisper when she left with the morning train. Maybe love ain't always breaking, sometimes it just lets go. Sometimes leaving is the only way a heart can finally grow. I don't curse her for the leaving or the choice she had to make. I just wish she'd left a reason instead of this ache. She left with a morning train, but I stayed and learned the truth that you can't beg someone to stay when their heart's already moved. Now every sunrise finds me stronger, though the memory still remains. I learned how to let go slowly, like she left with a morning train. Yeah, the tracks still run behind this town, but I don't chase them anymore. Used to laugh in the doorway like the world couldn't break us apart. Now silence fills every corner of what's left of my heart. I kept fixing what was broken while you kept closing the door. I called it love and devotion, but it felt like a war. Every promise felt heavy, like a chain round my chest. I kept saying tomorrow while ignoring the rest. Your goodbye never came easy, it just lived in your eyes. I stayed longer than I should have, believing all the lies. It was love that stayed too long, long after it was gone. I kept holding on to shadows when the light had moved on. I mistook pain for forever and habit for strong. Yeah, I lost myself slowly in a love that stayed too long. We stopped saying I miss you, started saying it's fine. Every touch felt like distance, every kiss crossed a line. I learned how to walk on eggshells, call it peace, call it grace. But I was shrinking in silence, trying to save your face. A friend said, man, you look tired. I said, love does that sometimes. But the truth was I was drowning in those unspoken lines. I kept blaming the timing, the nights, the storms, the rain. Anything but admitting that love shouldn't hurt this way. It was love that stayed too long when it should have let me go. I kept begging for a feeling you didn't know. I thought loyalty meant suffering. I was wrong all along. Yeah, I gave my best years to a love that stayed too long. There's a freedom in the leaving that I never understood. Sometimes walking away is the bravest thing you could. I don't hate you for the ending or the damage done. I just wish I'd learned sooner that love ain't meant to numb. It was love that stayed too long, but I finally moved on. I learned hearts need breathing, not a place to be warm. Now I'm rebuilding slowly, learning where I belong, finding myself again after love that stayed too long. Yeah, I stayed too long, but I didn't stay broken. Down an old dusty highway where the sunset paints the sky, I hear my boots on gravel and a lonesome whistle cry. Mama's voice still echoes from that wooden porch at home, singing songs of freedom on a broken radio tone. There's a picture on the dashboard, faded edges, black and white. Daddy with his old guitar, playing softly through the night. Every mile I travel feels like pages from my past, golden roads of country made to never fade or pass. These golden roads of country lead my heart back home, through the pain and the glory. I was never alone. From the fields to the highways where my dreams still run free, on the golden roads of country that keep calling me. Neon lights and small town bars, stories poured with cheap red wine. Old men hum forgotten tunes from a simpler time. Love was rough and honest, like the calloused hands I knew. Every scar a memory, every song still true. I've lost friends along the way, to the wind and passing years. Some to love, some to silence, some to bottled tears. but the radio still plays those old songs, slow and strong. They remind me who I am when the nights feel long. These golden roads of country lead my heart back home. Through the pain and the glory, I was never alone. From the fields to the highway, where my dreams still run free, on the golden roads of country that keep calling me. If I fall beneath the starlight with a broken song to sing, let the sound of steel strings be the last damn thing. Tell the world I lived simple, loved honest, stood my ground on these golden roads of country where my soul was found. These golden roads of country ain't made of gold or stone. They're built from love and heartbreak and a place called home. When my journey's over and the night turns free, I'll ride the golden roads of country back to peace. Yeah, the golden roads of country still remember me, still remember me. There's a mailbox leaning sideways on a gravel county road. Paint's been fading from the front porch, but the welcome's never old. You can drive 1,000 miles chasing money, chasing fame, but some things pull you backward when you hear your name. Mama's cooking in the kitchen, radio turned low. Daddy's rocking by the window, watching daylight go. Every crack along the wall, every sound I know, ain't just wood and nails and paint, it's the roots I grow. 'Cause home ain't just a place with a number or a name, it's the arms that always find you when the world's been hard and strange. It's the love that stays unspoken when the lights are gone. Home ain't just a place, it's where I belong. I've slept under brighter ceilings, heard applause from crowded rooms, but nothing ever held me like those small town afternoons. There's a comfort in the quiet that you can't buy or fake. Some things only feel like home when you're wide awake. Time has changed the faces, left a little silver hair, but the laughter sounds the same when we're all still there. I don't need a mansion or a view that's wide and long. If I've got their voices, I'm already home. Yeah, home ain't just a place you can find on any map, it's the stories that we carry in the spaces in our past. It's forgiveness in the silence when we've all grown on. Home ain't just a place, it's where I belong. Someday when the road gets longer and my steps get slow, I won't fear the falling dark, as long as I know there's a light still on for me. No matter how far I've gone, that kind of love don't fade away, it just stays strong. 'Cause home ain't just a place with a door and a key. It's the people who remember who I used to be. When this life starts feeling heavy and I'm worn and gone, I'll always find my way back, 'cause that's home. Yeah, home ain't just a place, it's a feeling. There's a highway stretching endless under tired and yellow lines. I've been chasing something missing since I left it all behind. Every town looks like a promise, every mile feels like a test. I keep driving through the silence with a heart that won't rest. Got a suitcase full of questions and a mirror I avoid. Every dream I ever carried feels heavier than void. I hear your voice in every station, like a song I've always known. But the farther that I wander, the more miles between me and home. There are miles between me and home, and ghost riding shotgun beside. Every wrong turn I ever took still asks me why. I don't know where this road is leading, but I know what I've outgrown. Yeah, I'm learning who I am with these miles between me and home. Neon lights and motel windows blinking like they understand. Every stranger's got a story written deep in calloused hands. I've seen hope in empty glasses, truth in words we never say. Funny how the road teaches lessons you can't learn if you stay. I've loved hard and lost harder, let pride write my goodbyes. I mistook the sound of freedom for the echo of my lies. Now every mile's a confession, every mile feels earned. I keep paying for the bridges I was too young to burn. There are miles between me and home, and regrets I still carry inside. Every sunset in my rear view feels like another goodbye. I don't know if I'll find forgiveness or just peace on my own, but I'm closer to the truth with these miles between me and home. If I turn back in the morning, will I recognize that man? Or did the road already change me, more than I ever planned. Maybe home ain't just a place or a door I used to know. Maybe it's who I become after letting go. There were miles between me and home, but they taught me how to stand. Every scar became a lesson, every loss shaped who I am. If I ever find my way back, and I won't walk it alone, 'cause I finally found myself in the miles between me and home. Yeah, the road keeps rolling on, but I don't feel so alone. No, I don't feel so alone. We carved our names and promises, said time would understand. Swore that love was stronger than the cracks beneath our plans. We talked about forever like it was a sure thing. Never thought tomorrow could take everything. Your clothes still in the closet, like you might come home tonight. But your eyes stopped believing long before the goodbye. We kept fixing all the symptoms, never healed what truly bent. That's the night I finally noticed forever learned to end. It was when forever learned to end that the truth came crashing in. Love ain't always meant to last, just meant to teach us who we've been. I held on to what we were, you were already past the bend. Yeah, my heart broke wide open when forever learned to end. We stopped fighting for each other, started fighting just to stay. Every I love you sounded like it lost its way. We slept back to back in silence, dreamed different kinds of dreams. Funny how two hearts together can drift so far unseen. I blame myself for everything, the nights, the cracks, the pain. But love ain't built on guilt alone or fear of change. Sometimes endings aren't a failure, they're a truth we can't pretend. That was the hardest lesson, when forever learned to end. It was when forever learned to end that I learned to let you go. I stopped begging for a future somehow, just not the lie we sold. Yeah, I grew up in the silence when forever learned to end. If I meet you down the road someday, I hope you're finally whole. I hope you found the peace you chased when you let our forever go. Don't regret the loving or the heart I had to spend. I just wish we'd known the truth before forever learned to end. when forever learned to end. I stopped living in the past. I learned some loves are chapters never meant to last. Now I'm stronger than the promise that I couldn't defend. I found myself again when forever learned to end. Yeah, forever isn't broken, it just changes how it's meant. I used to know the man in the mirror, knew his reason, knew his name. Now his eyes don't recognize me, like we never played the same game. Every town feels unfamiliar, every mile feels borrowed time. I keep chasing faded answers on a road that used to be mine. I built my life on shaky promises, said I'm fine when I wasn't strong. I wore my pride like it was armor, but it just made the nights more long. There's a map I never followed, with directions I ignored. Now I'm lost in all the silence I was begging for before. I'm a stranger on my own road, with a past I can't outrun. Every step feels like a question, every answer comes undone. I don't know who I became, or where the truth has gone. Yeah, I'm walking through my life like a stranger on my own road. I've shaken hands with every shadow that I swore I'd leave behind. I made peace with all my failures, but they never left my mind. Love came knocking more than once, I just didn't let her in. I was too busy running circles, trying not to feel again. The lines on my face tell stories I never learned how to tell, of quiet wars and restless nights and a heart I never sold well. If I could talk to younger me, I'd say slow down, let it go, 'cause you don't find yourself by running from the truth you already know. I'm a stranger on my own road, with my name on every sign, but none of them feel like they're leading to a place that feels like mine. I keep asking every mile where the hell I went wrong. Yeah, I'm living with the echoes of a stranger on my own road. If I stop here in the daylight and face the man I've been, will I find forgiveness or just the shape of my sins? Maybe home ain't where I started, or the dreams I overplayed. Maybe it's the moment I stopped being afraid. I was a stranger on my own road, but I'm learning how to stay, to listen when my heart speaks instead of looking away. If this road keeps twisting on me, I won't walk it cold and alone, 'cause I'm finally meeting the man on my own road. Yeah, I'm still walking, but I'm not alone. not anymore.